So Brent Jones is a former great tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. Now he's piling on Jimmy Garoppolo. And I want to start with something before I get to the clip. So psychologists, people that do this for a living, say money doesn't make you happier once you get to like $75,000, $80,000. You get your basic needs, food, transportation. It doesn't make you happier. So a lot of times fans will say, well, they make a lot of money. Does it make you happier? It makes you richer. It may make you more comfortable. But psychologically, athletes are dealing with the same stuff we are. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, said about a year ago, I think, maybe it was 2 years ago, that his players were miserable. They're on their devices. People are criticizing them. They're on the road. They're by themselves. It's a lonely existence. And you think, well, they make a lot of money. Lots of people in therapists' offices are rich. Therapists have a lot of rich clients. They're miserable too. And they're vulnerable too. So Jimmy Garoppolo, and Kyle Shanahan said this week, Jimmy Garoppolo's not in game shape yet. And I've defended Garoppolo saying, listen, because they were trying to make the Trey Lance thing work, they didn't even let him practice. He didn't start game 1, didn't start game 2. This is the first time in 9 months Jimmy G took all the snaps for an entire week. Of course he's going to struggle. High altitude, great Denver defense. Denver's defense is top 3 in the league right now. Great defensive line. Everybody's piling on him. So Brent Jones, reputable guy, was a great, great tight end, a Niner, goes on a radio station, KNBR in San Francisco, unloads on Jimmy G's sort of personality. Let me defend Garoppolo again. Maybe he doesn't feel all in because they've talked about drafting another quarterback for 2 years and trading him for 2 years, and then they did draft that quarterback. And though he was better, he was not given a playbook or allowed to practice with the team, as trade rumors circulated the entire time. Those all have been leaked out. Would you be all in? If you worked at a company, I'm at Fox and I work for iHeartRadio, and for 2 years, they hired my replacement. They let it leak publicly. They were moving off from me. I took a pay cut, which Garoppolo has done. My heir apparent's in the building, and they took away my playbook, if I had one. Maybe I wouldn't be all in either. All Jimmy Garoppolo has done since he arrived there, been a good soldier, played hurt, beaten Aaron Rodgers, I think 3 times, got to a Super Bowl, outplayed Mahomes for 3 quarters, took a pay cut, sat off to the side, wasn't allowed to practice. Maybe he's not all in. Would you be? Folks, first of all, his personality isn't Manning it's not Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. He's not a really intense guy. That's not his personality. He's a very laid-back guy. He's kind of the good-looking, chill guy that you like to go hang out with, go golf with, have a beer with. He's like a chill dude. A lot of these guys are great athletes, but, would you want to hang out with Russell Wilson or some of these really intense guys? Maybe not. But Jimmy you want to hang out with. Right? Like he's a chill dude. So I don't think he's a really, fiery guy to begin with. But we all have limits. Doesn't matter how good looking you are. It doesn't matter, how rich you are. We all have limits. And for 2 years, he has just been a great soldier, rehabbed multiple times, got to a Super Bowl, beaten Aaron Rodgers. Kyle Shanahan's record without him is 33% winning percentage. I think could be wrong, but it's close to that. And constantly, how would you feel if an employee at your company doesn't feel he's all in or you're all in? He's going to feel different about us, and he's become a me person. I think Jimmy is like, he's moved into the me category a little. It's like, you're moving off me anyway. You got my replacement anyway. You're going to trade me anyway. I took a pay cut for you. You don't win without me. I beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau. You're not into me. So guess what? I'm going to be into me. It's a protective mechanism, I would imagine. Some therapist could talk about it. If you feel everybody's bailing on you, if my wife's bailing, my company's bailing, then I'm going to protect me. So yeah, he's not pumping a fist. He's not all in. The Niners aren't all in. You're going to look back at Jimmy Garoppolo. Someday we're going to be sitting around, and you'll look at Jimmy Garoppolo, and you're going to be like, he won like 72% of his games, got to a Super Bowl, had a winning record against Aaron Rodgers. Nobody ever liked him. And it was funny, when he left, they never won big again. That's very possible, since they don't win when he doesn't play. You know, if Seattle ends up getting a star quarterback in the draft, Kyler Murray's a star quarterback, Matt Stafford's good, Trey Lance is hurt, we don't know what's going to happen there. Go ask Bill Belichick about finding a replacement for a quarterback that wins 75% of the time. Whether it's Brady or Garoppolo, it's hard. It's hard to win in this league, man. Jacksonville just scored on their last 7 possessions against the Chargers defense. It is hard to win in this league. The Rams barely got past the tanking Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah, he's probably not all in. Either of the Niners. For 2 years. Okay, so Ed Reed's the greatest safety many believe of all time. He's a former Baltimore Raven and a great. And he's talking about Lamar Jackson. The funny thing I find with Lamar Jackson is the Ravens did offer him a contract. It was like 5 years, $250 million. He turned it down. So let's not make it like the Ravens have not said to Lamar, we want you to be here for the next half decade. Here's $250 million. And Lamar's like, nope, not good enough. I'm going to bet on myself. But there's this feeling now the Ravens don't want him. They do. They do want him. They offered him. When you could be offered $250 million and that's somebody not wanting you, you're pretty good. So Ed Reed said, here's the key with Lamar. He's got to take care of business. He's got to protect himself. Lamar's good. He's got 1 playoff win, and they offered him $250 million. Yes, they're showing their true colors. They want him to stay, but they have questions about winning in the postseason. Now, I've said in recent years I'd pay him. I didn't know what he was going to be out of college. I had no idea. But he's developed into, by year 2, he's a star. And I would pay him. And I'd probably pay him in the mid-300 millions. I just think he's really, really good, and he gets better every year. But when I start hearing this, and Ed Reed's not the first to say this, but I have heard this multiple times from players. Hey, man, it's a business. Yeah, and the business is winning. Win games and play. Stop protecting yourself. Like, Lamar's good because he doesn't protect himself. Kyler Murray's really good when he doesn't protect himself. Russell Wilson's really good when he runs. But when I hear stuff like that, it makes me, if I was a general manager, I would be very reluctant to draft a Jalen Hurts. What makes Jalen Hurts great is he uses all his skills. He's getting better as a thrower. He was established as a runner. We can talk about business. I hear athletes saying this all the time. Your business is winning at basketball and winning at football and being a great athlete. And you have to use all your skills to do that. But should I protect my voice if I don't believe I'm getting the money I deserve? My job is to do the best job I can, let the chips fall where they may. He's in the 5th year of a 5-year contract. He's got a contract. He's been great. And they've offered him a fortune, $250 million. I don't think it's enough. I think they'll regret it. I think at the end of this year, Baltimore is going to be, my takeaway, they may end up being the number 1 or number 2 seed. So I think, you play this game back and forth, and if I was the Ravens, I'd get it sewn up fast because he's really developed in the last 3 years into a great one. But I hear this all the time. The message now I'm hearing over and over to running quarterbacks is protect yourself. I'd be careful about that because quarterbacks get hurt in weird ways. Peyton Manning had 4 neck surgeries. Was he running around? Tom Brady missed a season because somebody lunged into his legs. Does he run around? Dak Prescott's not playing because he banged his throwing hand on a helmet. That's how Dak got hurt. Drew Brees almost lost his career to a shoulder surgery. He's the definition of a pocket passer. What the man upstairs God gave you, use all of them every time you play. If you're a corner, you're a quarterback. But I'm hearing this a lot now. Got to protect yourself if you're a running quarterback. Well, I think protecting yourself because, by the way, Lamar is not getting hurt running around. Jalen Hurts is not getting hurt running around. Peyton Manning, though, had 4 neck surgeries. Kyler Murray last year in the playoff game stopped running. It was a disaster. And by the way, it came back to bite him in some ways because the owner came out to take a shot at him. He got into a very public spat because he refused to do what he does. He was protecting himself. I just don't like the messaging on that. What makes Lamar great is he's all in, every play, cares deeply. It's not about protecting himself. It's about being Lamar Jackson. Trevor Lawrence likes to run. Keep running, even if you don't get a second contract. Trevor Lawrence, keep moving. Josh Allen, by the way, taking a total beating. And I hear this. Look what happened to Cam Newton, though, Colin. Look what happened to Cam Newton. Cam Newton was never as refined a passer as Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson can run and throw. I never liked Cam as a thrower. And by the way, Cam's biggest injury, do you remember what it was? It was bad judgment. He tried to make a tackle. Baker Mayfield's biggest injury, do you remember what it was? He threw a pick and tried to tackle a safety and square him up. So quarterbacks get hurt. Some of these guys that don't move are hurt all the time. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has had 2 collarbone surgeries. He's ideally and mostly a pocket quarterback, certainly now. So the idea that you got to protect yourself, I hate the messaging on that. In any business, use your superpower. Lean into your skill set. Don't worry about protecting it. By the way, start telling me all the great quarterbacks in NFL history who were great in their first contract that didn't, because of an injury, get a second great contract. Name them. Sam Bradford was never great. Name them. Tell me all. By the way, Jordan missed a year. Brady's missed a year. John Stockton missed a year. Tell me all the great quarterbacks in league history, the runners, the throwers that got hurt in their first contract and were great. Lamar's great and didn't get a second one. Folks, you know how many contracts Sam Bradford got? And he wasn't. Go look at his money. And he was never great. Lamar's going to get paid. Lamar's getting paid. And if I was the Ravens, I'd pay him now. But I don't like this messaging that I'm hearing constantly about, hey, man, it's a business. You got to protect yourself. Quarterback is the business of production and winning. Use everything you've got. It will take care of itself. He'll get paid multiple times going forward. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.